All right, well, guys, let's get into what I will return to the Wednesday Night War. At first, I was thinking about just doing NXT reviews and AEW reviews separate, but since we are coming to the end of the NBA playoffs and the finals is on ABC, we're back on Wednesday night. So if Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going back to my Wednesday Night War routine. We tried NXT last week by itself. It was all right, but I want to go back to this format, especially since we have prime time back in the building with us. So let's go right on to see Tuesday night NXT, where we got a big show line for you guys, a huge North American Championship main event, and a huge opening matchup. So the Great American Bash is next week. So are they doing 2 nights or 1 night?
I think they're doing one.
1 night, because Fyter Fest for AEW is in 2 weeks, right?
I don't. They got something like for the next month. They got like a event.
Oh, okay. Well,
or like a branded show.
Oh, okay. I gotta look up into all this stuff. So let's go into NXT here. So we get a recap of what happened last week on NXT. I did see last week on NXT because I reviewed it, and we're getting ready for Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly Part 2. Even though I was like, so this ain't the unsanctioned match, but this will be a regular match. So, let's see how that goes. We're going to start off this week's NXT with the number 1 contenders triple threat matchup: Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart versus Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai versus Io Shirai and Zoe Starks. So I have been getting back into NXT. First of all, I like how NXT is treating their women's teams better than they are on WWE. To be honest, even though I still think it should be 2 sets of titles, but sure, whatever. I like I said, Zoe Starks and Io Shirai is really out the blue for me, obviously, but most teams are when you're dealing with the women's division.
One point, I thought they was gonna put Poppy and Io on the same team.
Who?
Poppy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I'm like, I don't think she wrestles.
Good point. Well, see, I would like to see Xia Li and Io Shirai, but
yeah, but she's,
yeah, doing something else right now. So this matchup is wild and crazy from the start. We're doing triple threat rules. I like how when they have triple threat matches, like in a tag team, they have them in triple threat matches, opposed to just the 2 of them starting out, and then one team got to randomly tag in. So each member of the team is represented in the matchup. Raquel Gonzalez, Ember Moon, and Io Shirai are all in there, and they all have a great exchange as Raquel Gonzalez is doing the big girl stuff, and Ember Moon and Io Shirai are doing tag teaming to get her outside the ring. Obviously, we got a pile-up spot where we knock out Raquel Gonzalez outside the ring, and then Io Shirai does a moonsault. And then after she does the moonsault, we have Ember Moon hold the ropes open, and Shotzi Blackheart dives outside the ring. Then Ember Moon says, well, here I go, and let me dive outside the ring. And then, and here we go. Here comes Zoe Starks, because she got to go fly. She bounces, and she flies outside the ring as well, too. I mean, it looked fine and showing how athletic these women are, but you know how I feel about the pile-up spot.
It's used a lot.
And I would say for these women had to sit there and wait and catch these women or catch these people as they come down. It just looks so damn awkward. Like you wouldn't stop in a fight to do that. But and like, if one person wants to dive outside the ring, that's fine. But when you start doing the power spot and everybody got to come out there and fly, stuff like that, fine. So we go to commercial break. When we come back,
I would like if they make it a little more believable, like they still fighting while the person is diving.
Yeah.
Not just sitting there like, all right, let's brace. They kind of like, like how Daniels and AJ was doing when Joe came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like still brawling.
It's still brawling, and Joe like hit him like that, something like that. So yeah. And well, I mean, on that note, you need a lot of the diver to try to dive right in the right sweet spot, to cushion your fall. Because if I'm not going to trust Brie Bella or Sasha Banks to do that. You got to catch those women. Stark hits a flying splash from Dakota, tags in Io Shirai, who does the same. Io hits a 619 and a springboard drop kick, but Shotzi tags in to break up the pin. These things are going all haywire now. And then now we get to down where I call the finishing sequences, as we have Ember Moon comes off the top and hits Zoe Starks with a Eclipse, and then Ember Moon gets a GTS. It looks like by Dakota Kai, which looked very, very sloppy, by the way, because like she dropped herself and everything like that. But then Io Shirai gives like a Hadouken or a Shinkugen up on with Dakota Kai, then goes for the moonsault, and then pins Dakota Kai, and then Io Shirai and Zoe Starks are your winners. They're going up to face the Way, Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae for the tag team championships. I don't think they're going to win them, but you know, it was a good opener. How do you think about the opener?
I thought it was solid. I was just like, man, I ain't really care.
No, why not? I mean, it was a good match.
I mean, yeah, but they haven't done nothing to make us care about these people, except for Raquel. Other than that, I don't care about. I mean, even I like shots. I don't care about shots to Ember, Zoe, or Io at this point. At the moment. Gotcha.
Scarlett and Karrion Kross arriving backstage. Johnny Gargano runs into them, slams them into the garage door. They start brawling, and somebody break them apart. So that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be, Johnny. And then, so Bronson Reed is backstage, interview how excited he was for the tournament and how he won North American Championship. Then Hit Row appears and Swerve questions how Reed was the one to come out of the tournament as champion. And then Reed and Top Dollar argue for a little bit, but then Swerve tells him to put that championship on the line tonight, and he does. And at first I was just like, why would he do that? But so we never got a chance to talk about it. I am feeling Hit Row, bro.
I'm not at the moment.
You're still not feeling Hit Row yet?
Not at the moment.
What is it about Hit Row that you're not feeling? I'm kind of curious.
I just gotta get used. I'm not just when they start, like, just because they a black faction. I'm just not about to just be, all right,
bro. You know. It's Death Row Records. See, they got their own Suge Knight and everything.
I know, but I'm saying I'm just not feeling it.
I got. First of all, I want to see B Fine wrestle.
She's not. I don't think ready yet.
I heard it. Cause I was hearing that she does wrestle. I was like, but
no, she does. What I'm saying, I think she's still kind of green a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm just saying, I'm just not feeling it just yet.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It ain't no Hurt Business. I was 100% on board with Hurt Business. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't no Hurt Business yet. Though. What'd you say?
I said it took a while to get that.
What, on Hurt Business?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was Team Hurt Business on all that stuff like that. So, but I don't know. It's something about the hit because I'm a big fan of Shane Strickland, a.k.a. Swerve Scott. So I like him. I like the Top Dollar guy. He's like big but agile as fuck. And Ashanti the Adonis, I see him on 205 Live. He's a really good wrestler. He's really good. So those guys are, as I said, it's growing on me now. But hold on, but I'll get to how I feel about the championship and stuff when we get to the end. Karrion Kross comes to the ring and he's mad at Gargano, obviously, and then he says, well, you know, touche, Johnny, but you know he's gonna get him back. But then come face him man to man. Gargano pops up. He says he's not afraid of, but you know, Kross attacked him like a coward last week. But then we have Austin Theory attack Kross from behind, and Gargano come join the beatdown. Kross beats them both out the ring and slams Johnny into the plexiglass a few times. And then this one still says to look to crush Gargano's head, but officials run down to stop Gargano, him and Samoa Joe. And that's what Kross says, you're doing a hell of a job, Joe. So now we go to the new faction, Diamond Mine. Because I was like, I'm not a fan of the Diamond Mine right now. That's something that's not growing on me. Roderick Strong taking on Asher Hale. He beats him with a double underhook submission. Michael Bibbs is in the ring and says, Diamond Mine is open for business. I'm like, that is borderline Hurt Business right there, and that makes me really not like it. How do you feel about it?
Nah, I just don't. It just don't even. Roderick Strong should not be the leader of a group ever.
If Roderick Strong falls in that category,
ever. But hey, we'll see.
I mean, that's probably why they got the Malcolm Bivens is the manager, but I don't understand, like, what's the purpose? What's the, like, are they supposed to be, like, Olympic athletes, like Team Angle, or are they trying to...
Who knows? It's a Roderick Strong led faction. It's not going to do well.
It's not. I mean, but you understand what I'm saying? Each faction has, like, a theme. It's like
Yeah,
Hit Row obviously is like Death Row Records. Then we have the Hurt Business, which was supposed to, like, we are like these businessmen that inflict pain and hurt and stuff like that, kind of like that. Huh?
It's just weird because first of all, how you gonna take the third, possibly the fourth man of a faction and make him a leader of another faction? It's like nobody wants to see Virgil lead a faction.
Nobody wants to see. You call Roddy Virgil?
Well, no, but I'm just saying. Nobody wants to see Stevie Ray lead a faction.
There you go.
No one wants to see X-Pac. Well,
hey, you ready for the X Factor?
Well, not that one, but still, you know what I mean.
I got everything I ever wanted.
Nobody wants to see Billy Gunn lead a faction.
You mean like the Gun Club?
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Yes.
Nobody wants to see the Gun Club.
Yeah, the Dynamite work. The Dynamite is almost on that level of Choo Choo Union. God, I hate the Union. Cameron Grimes is taking on Eric Sterling. The bell rings. Cameron Grimes is on there. He, it's a pretty basic Cameron Grimes matchup as he hits the cave in for the win. And then LA Knight interrupts him as he celebrates, calls him a natural born loser, and he tells him that he never gonna be as great as him. He never had a goal because he won the $1 million championship at Take Over in Your House. And he said, but then Cameron Grimes said, "How about I take it next week?" And then he accepts the challenge. He said, but Grimes doesn't deserve it. And then but Cameron Grimes said, well, you know what? He wants the belt so badly he could wrestle the title, and then he has no problem because he's going to leave at the bash with the $1 million as the $1 million man, and he's going to take that belt to the moon. So, since he's a face now, do you like him?
Absolutely not.
Is he more insufferable?
No, it's not. I don't know. It's just not. I don't know what's wrong with this man.
Now, how do you feel about LA Knight though? Coming from Impact and doing his thing.
Hold up. All right. Now, what did you say?
How do you feel about LA Knight?
From him coming from Impact, I don't know. Impact, he was I think he was world champion. He was doing good, but here, I don't know. Just he's getting there, but not. I'm still not sold.
Well, I mean, he's obviously going to be a champion eventually in NXT. I can see that happening. But
you know what? I'm just be honest. One thing that just hurts me so much is LA Knight as a name. LA Knight.
Well, I mean, does Impact own Eli Drake?
No, he had it on the Indies.
Oh, okay.
They just want his name to copyright it, I guess, or whatever. But what was they watching? Like Mike, the LA Knights.
Yeah. Oh, remember that? Yeah. Kyle O'Reilly comes out. And then he says, he's been testing himself against the best. He wants to fight dudes who make him better. Next week is Cole versus O'Reilly 2. Last time was Gritty, Violent, and Sanctioned. He got his hand raised and proved that he belonged in the main event to be eventually NXT champion. But Cole refuses to see it and continues to make excuses. And O'Reilly tells Cole to come down to make excuses ahead of time. Adam Cole comes down to the ramp, but then Samoa Joe comes down like we're not going to have none of y'all guys fighting, so I won't be the mediator of this type thing. And Cole tells O'Reilly that he's obsessed, but then O'Reilly says you're the obsessed one. Cole says you're nothing without him, and then goes farther back to NXT, and he says he has always been the star in the Undisputed Era and everything he's done, and you've never been the star. The entire world knows it. His wife knows it. Joe knows it, and then he's like, "Don't ever mention my wife." And Cole, talk some more shit, and then snaps the microphone out of Kyle O'Reilly's hand as they, clash his a little bit. But then he tries to go attack Kyle O'Reilly, but he puts him in the heel hook. And I like how Joe is just watching him be put in this heel hook, and he's like, "Joe, make him stop." He's just like, "Nope, I'm gonna walk away from this." And then he sends security finally down there to go separate them. So, how would you like to stand off, and how do you think Cole and O'Reilly 2 is going to be?
I like this. I think it's gonna be good in the regular match. I think Adam Cole wins, but we'll see what happens.
Are they having a takeover Brooklyn this year?
Yes, they are having it the day after.
After what?
SummerSlam.
Okay, so I'm gonna say they probably gonna do Cole and O'Reilly 3, the final one. Cause I see Cole win the regular match.
Yeah.
I see Cole win the match.
They're having takeover the night after SummerSlam. I don't know where I'm assuming in the same place, but I don't know where.
Okay. So we have a new team, which is Xia Li and Bowen named. I'm gonna get this wrong. What is it? Titan Sha.
All right. I might as well go there. All right, look. They messed up this thing. They messed this thing up. All right.
I'm about to say, yeah. So teach me, because like I said, I just got back into last week for the NXT.
No. Like a few months ago, they gave this promo, and it was like, "Oh, this Tian Shaw is a ghost. She's a legend. She's been around for thousands of years. She's a dragon." They basically make her a female Undertaker. They call her Tian Shaw, but now her name is mainly, and the group name is Tian Shaw, so they changed it. But they didn't say nothing about it. They just changed it and say nothing.
Wow.
So now the group is Tian Shaw, and Ming Lee is just the female ghost or whatever they're gonna call it. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but it doesn't at all. But, logic.
Okay,
anyway,
sure.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway, this match, I don't think we got to spend that much time on this match. But,
no, because it's Tyson taking on Jake Addison, Mercedes Martinez. Obviously, the match doesn't go. It's all right, but then at the end, the biggest thing is Xia Li comes and hits an explosive suplex on Mercedes Martinez, and then hits a roundhouse kick. Now, here's the confusing part. Mercedes Martinez goes down very stiff, like bow. I was like, okay, she's a great seller. But then it was like she was trying to pin her, but she had her arm up, but she couldn't kick out. So it's like, oh shit, she ain't there. And then the referee called for the kick out, but then she didn't get back up, so they called the match. What really happened? Like, was she selling, or was she?
No, she got knocked out for real.
She got knocked out for real. Okay. Because I was just like, yo, what happened? And I was like, damn, she's a great seller, but like, she stiffed up. Usually when people stiff up, that's when they really get knocked out, opposed to just being, laid out. So, and like I said, it looked like she had a call to try to keep the match going with a kick out, but yeah, she
Yeah, but I think that's her finisher though. The roundhouse kick, I think that's Xia Li's finisher. So, I don't know.
Yeah, she really got knocked out. I'm looking at the gif, and her face just plants right on the mat, like. Yeah, and on top of that, Mercedes Martinez is older, so I don't know if she should be handling that kind of kicks like that, but that joint was vicious. So, yeah, they want to match like that. So I hope she is doing all right, but like she just got knocked out. Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa, the team that you love so much, is coming out to the ring with steel chairs, and they're calling out MSK, and they sit down in the ring to have a promo with MSK about how Ciampa always elevates anybody that he is in the ring with. And MSK still wet behind the ears and they don't need the championships, but MSK stands up and says, look, we're going to show you at the Bash why we are the NXT Tag Team Champions and still going to be, the NXT Tag Team Champions. So,
yeah, I do not want Thatcher and
Ciampa
to win. No,
I don't want to be a tag team no more.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Ciampa.
Ken, Cross, and Scarlett are leaving the building when Johnny and Austin attack them, and they're fighting on the outside. Theory goes off, and Gargano slams the car door onto him and over, and Johnny shuts out the camera. Cross isn't on his level, and Cross is behind, chokes him out, and then his Theory with a running forearm is on the outside before Regal comes out there and Joe to break them all up. Main event time. North American Championship. Bronson Reed taking on Isaiah Swerve Scott with Hit Row. Don't know. So, as y'all know, I'm a fan. Main event gets on their way. Bronson Reed and Swerve Scott have good matches, and Swerve is really good as these guys are going all out in this matchup. Even there's a point where Swerve hits Bronson Reed with a deadlift German suplex. That was impressive for a guy Swerve size to get up somebody like Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, they had a couple things on the apron. I forgot what happened exactly on the apron. But Swerve runs Reed into the corner, hits the STO for a 2 count. He's looking for a shiny wizard, but he blocks it. Then Bronson Reed goes to the top rope to go for his splash. But Ashanti, first Top Dollar distracts him, but then Ashanti, the Adonis, knocks Reed off the top ropes. And so then the referee is realized that something happened, and Top Dollar says, well, you want to see what happens? And he runs full speed at Bronson Reed, and then Bronson gets out the way, and he crashes through the plexiglass wall, which, I mean, he literally, like, Rocky from Power Rangers Turbo himself over that door.
All right.
You see how the legs went up, bruh?
Leave Rocky alone. Man.
Yo, man, he literally roundhouse himself out the ring like Rock, like he fought, and then Ashanti comes like, "Yo, you good?" And then he gets choked, and then Bronson Reed tosses him over right on top of Top Dollar. So then, as he's coming back into the ring, we get Isaiah hits the house call kick right in the back on the side of his head, and he's still drifting on the bottom rope, and then hits a 450 splash right on Bronson Reed, wins the matchup, and Swerve Scott is your new North American champion. Did not see that one coming.
I did.
You did?
I think Bronson's going to the main roster. He had like a match on main event this week.
Already? No.
Him and Cross and Scarlett.
See, I thought I didn't think they was going to put Bronson as like a transitional champion, and I was just like, because Bronson Reed, he was like, okay, North American champion. I see him hold on to this. That's pretty dope, and I was worried because I was like, I'm really like a Hit Row, but they need some more than just 2 tag team matches under their belt, you know. And I figured, you know, B5 would get into the ring a little bit, and Swerve would get some wins underneath him, and then they'll start winning some gold type thing, help build up the credibility of the faction, so people like you can like them. But having Swerve win a North American Championship, I was like, wow, did not see them doing that. So that's big for the group right there. That's big for the group right there. So that was NXT. So what you grade NXT this week? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
I'll give it a thumbs up.
I give NXT a thumbs up too, because now it's time to go over to WWE Dynamite. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, it's not WWE Dynamite, JR. It's AEW Dynamite. That is probably one of the worst botches you can do. And he's probably getting some mad heat backstage for that right now.
No, I hope so, because if they're just saying, good job, you just made a mistake, then no, it's not good.
I did not hear what Jericho said after he said that, but
no, they went off the air.
Oh, they went off the air? Oh, yeah. He probably was like, good, you ass clown. But the demo guy, Chris Jericho comes out. He's the first man out because he's going to be on commentary all night. And, of course, there's places out there, and they're at Pack House, and they're singing Judas. And we're getting ready for the first matchup because it's the last time they're going to be in Daly's place for a while because they're going on the road. in July, just like WWE is they're starting to go back on the road in July. So I know AEW is supposed to be coming to Philly next month. I'm trying to get to that show, and then I don't know when WWE's coming back to Philly.
I don't know. You should look it up.
Well, you know I got Chuz for all that, but I definitely got you know, I want to go to AEW matchup. AEW World Tag Team Eliminator match. The Young Bucks taking on Penta El Zero, Pentagon, and Eddie Kingston. Here's the thing. What's wrong?
The facial hair.
On.
I don't know if the Elite just came out and they was like, yeah, we're gonna have terrible facial hair today.
Yo, what is, like I said, yo, you gotta teach me what happened. Like, why is Kenny Omega look like Triple H right now?
This is all new this week.
Oh, like why is Kenny Omega coming out there looking like Triple H from 2004?
Because that's who he is. Is he not?
And I'm just like, what? And I'm like, yeah, what's up with this face? I don't like none of this stuff. Like, the Young Bucks look like Hogan out there, and then, well, Shivani should look like a couple porn stars.
They just came out and said, yeah, we're going to have horrible facial hair this week. Because the goatee on Matt Jackson is horrible.
Is it really their hair, though, or is it like what?
No, yeah, it's really there because they both have full beards.
Oh, my God. What did I miss?
No, this is just new this week. This is just new. Like, that's the debut of it.
Oh, yes, I came back at the right time. Kingston hits chops on both men. Exploder on Nick, Matt, and Nick hits super kicks on Kingston. Penta sends Nick to the outside. Color accidentally hits Matt with cold spray, and he doesn't stop. Cash runs down, attacks the Elite at ringside. Penta hits a suicide dive on the Elite, and Penta hits a package driver on Nick to get the victory. So they earned themselves, it looks like a tag team title match, I'm guessing. But what happened to Moxley? Oh, that's right. He's with his baby, right?
Yeah.
Cause I was like, oh, weren't they a tag team? I was like, okay, well, he had to be with his baby.
Yeah, the past couple weeks, Eddie Kingston just been tagging with whoever, like either Neville or Penta.
Oh, okay.
Or both.
Christian Cage is giving a pep talk to Jungle Boy. Says tonight Jungle Boy could be the first person in AEW to reach 50 victories. Luchasaurus arrives and says dinosaurs are loyal creatures, and that he thanks Christian for having Jungle Boy's back. Christian jokes that he is part dinosaur on his mother's side. That's funny.
I need Jungle Boy to leave Luchasaurus and Marco stuff.
Oh, you know what's happening. You better go to Tarzan.
I just need him to leave them too. I'm just saying, because like when we coming into AEW, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Luchasaurus," but now he's just like, "No, nobody likes Luchasaurus. Nobody likes Marco."
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, just get Jungle Boy his singles push and keep moving.
Tony Schiavone interviews the man of the year in the ring, and it's Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. And then Page said he would examine Darby. He said he threw Darby down the steps. He came back. Everything he does, he keeps coming back. Well, this time, crippling him as a physical isn't going to be enough. So in the coffin match, he'll cripple him mentally. Every time he wants to go for the coffin job, he will be thinking about Ethan Page. The lights go out. Snow falls. Sting comes out, dragging a coffin behind him. Then the Veil and Titantron shows Darby setting a coffin on fire. Darby comes out the Sting coffin, and then they attack. Sting hits Scorpio Death Drop on Scorpio Sky. And then, let's see, the trains run down. Darby digs his finger into Ethan Page's eye. Right after the trains run down, pull Darby apart. Page gets Michael says Darby can't beat him at 100%, and says next week the match is off. He wants it on paper. Maybe they can do it at Fyter Fest. So here's the thing: why not just do it at Fyter Fest the first time?
Don't know.
Like, why do we have to go through all this if you could just have it at Fyter Fest the first time?
Because Fyter Fest is not they have gimmicks for the next month, like I said. So like, it's not just like, oh, Fyter Fest is the big gimmick show. No, they got like 4 or 5 gimmick back to back shows. So I don't know.
Jungle Boy versus Jack Evans. Jungle Boy hits crossbody and grabs the legs and throws Evans to the outside. Evans escapes the suplex. Jungle Boy lands on his feet. Jungle Boy locks in the snare trap and Evans taps out. So Jungle Boy wins. Hardy family comes down, but Jurassic Express runs down to intercept him. Christian Cage and Matt Hardy brawl in the ring. Cage hits the reverse DT, and Cage chokes Matt with his jacket before Matt runs off. So we're like having a Matt Hardy Christian thing going on.
Yeah, they've been kind of feuding for the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Last week they beat him up and locked him in the cage.
Oh no! They Chicago Pete him. PD them.
Yeah, they put Cage in the cage.
Yeah, put Cage in the cage. MJF says he had outsmarted the Inner Circle. He out wrestled them and outclassed them. He thrown Jericho as the king of AEW. He says Jericho has turned AEW into Looney Tunes, saying Jericho's a joke. He used to be cool. It's sad how low he is. And Jericho willing to stoop. Next week he will announce stipulations for one match between MJF and Jericho. He will take out his aggression on Sammy Guevara tonight, which should be a damn good matchup. Andrade El Idolo is interviewed backstage. He still had the subtitles.
Andrade El Idolo.
You can make an example of Matt Sydal, and they'll have a match.
I just can't believe JR, man.
Yes.
How do you get everybody's name wrong?
I don't know, but he's clearly not there for the different names and stuff like that. Tony Schiavone is in the ring again to interview Kenny Omega, aka Triple H 2006. And Kenny enters alone, and he got that facial look just like Triple H. And he said, I woke up feeling like a king today. Not only had he defeated the toughest guy, the most decorated high flyer.
He woke up feeling like a king.
The king of kings, exactly. And said, but
he should have said something like, I feel like an assassin or something. That would have been better.
A cerebral assassin.
Yeah.
Then as he's talking, Dark Order music plays, and here comes the whole Dark Order. Evil Uno says Omega mistaken. Omega calls them twerps, and they aren't even close to being ranked, which he's not lying because the Dark Order sucks. But Evil Uno says Kenny is right. They don't have enough wins, but they know somebody who does, and the crowd starts chanting cowboy shit, hangman. Omega says if you're talking about who I think you're talking about, he doesn't he doesn't like somebody talking for him. So he says goodbye, good night, and walking right through the Dark Order. So we have I don't know if we got the backstage segment yet of Adam Page talks to the Dark Order saying, why did you do that? You think I'm scared? And then Coco Bandit says, I don't think you're scared, I just think you're scared of failure. And the Dark Order trying to give him a prep talk, and I'm just like, screw the Dark Order. But what are you gonna do? NXT Championship matchup: Miro taking on Brian Pillman.
Whoa, JR. Calm down, JR.
What? NXT Championship?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I messed up. I JR'd it. Yo. TNT Championship. Oh, I JR'd it. No. Oh no. The TNT Championship match: Miro taking on Brian Pillman Jr. So this much is really much of a matchup here, as Miro is mostly dominating Brian Pillman Jr. here. Miro catches a third kick and hits a kick of his own, hits another Mosca kick, and then locks in the game over as Pillman passes out. So I missed the whole Team Taz thing when he was talking about that with his son in Powerhouse Hobbs.
He just basically said Ricky's gonna fight.
Oh, so he's clear from injury now?
Not this week, but I think next week.
Okay.
So next week it'll be Ricky versus Cage for the FTW title. I think that's what he said, right? Well, that's what they announced on Twitter. So
okay. So AEW Women's Championship, Dr. Brent Baker, DMD, and Rebel take on Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero. Well, I was like, okay, Vicky's not gonna wrestle in this matchup. So Vicky falls over right away. Rebel strikes Vicky, and Vicky runs to Rose, and then so it's kind of almost like a handicap match here, as Rose is in there beating down Rebel, and then starts beating down Britt Baker here, and then Vicky tells Rose to go to the top rope. and Baker throws Vicky to the corner. Vicky knocks Nyla Rose off the top rope, but Baker locks in the lockjaw and gets the victory. So Britt Baker and Rebel win the matchup, but Nyla Rose is pissed. So after the matchup,
this whole thing was stupid.
Say what?
This whole thing was stupid.
Yeah, well, she just starts attacking. Baker has a powerbomb on Baker. Then Vicky sets up a table on the outside. Then Rose has a powerbomb off the apron through the table to the outside. And as Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero celebrating the ring.
This whole Vicky thing is stupid because, first of all, she did all this like I'm gonna return. Everybody thought, oh, she's not gonna actually wrestle. Like, why would she? Everybody thought, oh, somebody gonna come out and fight for her. No, nothing happens. Anyways, Rebel dislocated her knee.
Oh goodness.
So yeah. That happened.
So that's what happens. Hager and Proud and Powerful are by the stairs. Hager says that they must be sick of them. Ortiz says FTR finally decided to get their hands dirty, and they will get their hands even dirtier when we finally meet in Miami. You better bring all the fight that you can. They will have no Conan in their corner. Main event time. It's MJF taking on Sammy Guevara.
Did you see that?
Huh?
Did you see that?
That was a great match.
No, I'm talking about, did you see them
beating up dude?
Conan.
No, I did not see. Oh, I did not see him beat up Conan. I missed it. Conan got his ass whooped again.
He took a spike off the top.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, Conan getting his ass beat no matter where he go. So I don't know if this match was like a no disqualification or not, but it was just a damn good matchup as these two are just going at it back and forth and back and forth. And this is like one of the best matches I've seen MJF in, to be completely honest. Even Sammy Guevara pulls out the old school RVD because MJF has a chair and he tries to bring it in the ring, but he kicks it and knocks him over to the fans. And then Sammy Guevara does a springboard like flip from the ring to the outside where the fans are at, taking out MJF. If that ain't some RVD ECW shit. So that was to get back into the ring, and then there is also a lot of near falls. We do have what's his name, Sean Spears, that comes down to the ring. Sean Spears, that's it.
I know, I said that now.
Oh, I was about to say, you gotta be paranoid. I ain't trying to go down the JR route anymore. So MJF hit they're on the top rope. MJF hits a pile driver, a tombstone from the top rope, and Sammy decided to. I'm like, if you hit a tombstone from the top rope, that shit is over. But the match is so good, I let it go. And it looks like MJF has injured his own knee. He tries to pick up Sammy, but both men collapse on the mat, and Sammy gets a quick roll up, 2 count, and then MJF hits an elbow to the knee. Sammy counters, heat seeker. Sammy covers, 2 count. Sammy hits 2 super kicks, and Sammy hits a GTH, and then MJF gets to the ropes. Sammy goes to the top, and MJF begs Sammy not to hit the 630. Sammy hits the 630 anyway, 2 count. Sean Spears out there. Jericho walks off commentary to kind of intercept, but then Warlow attacks him and throws Jericho off the stage. Spears hits Sammy with like a bad chair shot, and the ref's distracted, and that's what wins it. Out of all the moves they did, that chair shot. Now, if you were talking about weak finishes, that finish was kind of weak to the match to me.
It is, but they're trying to make him like, because I don't know if you know, he only hits people one time and he's like out.
Oh, that's right. They're trying to make him the chairman, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it ain't working. So that is AEW for the week. What do you rate this episode of AEW? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
I would say in the middle, like mostly
What you say?
I say in the middle, but mostly up.
Yeah, I'm still giving it a thumbs up. Who had the better show this week, NXT or AEW?
Maybe NXT.
I think I'm going to say give the win to NXT because I am getting a little biased because of Hit Row.
Nah, if King Kings 04 didn't come out, I probably would have gave it to them, but now that's just horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I gave it to NXT.
Yeah. So guys, make sure you guys subscribe. Me and Prime are gonna be back for Wednesday Night Wars.